Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dean here today with Burn One. I'm joined today with Ellis.
Yo.
He is my second in command when we're playing Shadowverse. He's the only other person that plays it with me on camera, at the very least. So today, what we're going to have is Sword versus Haven. We're going to be doing some commentary this time because we've been mixing it up a little bit, right? We've done the games with just the sound effects. I've had the cards being up on the screen. All of that takes a lot of editing. So this time, we're just going to have the gameplay with some commentary. And hopefully give you guys some insight how to play, what we were thinking about, and what's going on. So let's begin. We got 1.7 times speed, so that way it's not there's not too much dead time going on.
Yeah. And it helps when we miss cuts, right?
Yeah, when we miss cuts, I definitely didn't do the best job on this video. I tried, but sometimes you mess up. And we're going to be using energy this time to show the mana because it's easy enough. You tap it, it works. It doesn't... It's easier to get in the camera frame, so that way we don't have the awkward camera angles. So, turn 2, we see I'm going to be dropping down Gunmaid Sarah. She on play searches any princess card. I'm going to be grabbing back the Pompous Princess, I think is what it's actually called. I always forget the name. Always forget the name.
I think we should probably mention here also that we are playing Haven versus Sword.
I think I said that at the beginning.
Oh, I might have missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so turn 2, Ellis is going to drop down the Prism Priestess, evolve it for 1, and an orb, which allows him to search for any amulet. He searches out the Guardian Sun Temple or whatever Guardian Temple.
Right, and I think that was the wrong play here. I think based on what I had in hand, I probably should have found something that was 2 to 3 drop.
Yes, definitely. Or like a draw card usually, I think is
right.
Better.
And I think the draw card one is the one I should have grabbed.
Because now I'm just going to be able to play down that the Princess card, which on play top checks 5. I think I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, on play I top check 5, and I get to put any 1 drop that I find there to into play. So I'm going to be putting down the Samurai guy. He's a 2/1.
And also, when he comes into play, he gets to, or you can rest him to rest an enemy follower.
On play, he can act an enemy follower, which is tap, allowing me to trade. And he also gets to, he also has the ability to tap and do it, so it allows me to actually just, trade where I want.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Now, he only rests, right? He doesn't unrest things.
Right. I thought that's what the cut was about, is I was like, I think this guy might, untap your card. And this is where I forget to cut because,
Yeah. That would be an interesting anti-ward mechanic.
And there's already cards that ignore ward, so...
Right. So right here, I played this down. I gave the Prism Priestess ward, and then because it had ward, I was able to give it an additional +2/+2
by sacking the amulet.
Yep.
Which I think is pretty low value.
Right.
But it's like...
Yeah, so my thought process was to deal you some damage early on. With how my hand was set up, I didn't have a lot of ways to deal damage, and I was in the mindset that damage wins games. But what the correct play probably would have been was to trade with the 1/3 across from it, and letting you trade into me otherwise.
Yeah, because Haven is definitely supposed to be control, and I'm supposed to be mid-range aggro-y.
Yep. Yeah, Haven is supposed to be very turtle.
You're supposed to be going for that Aegis on turn 8 or 9, and then be giving it ward. And until then, you're just playing the survival game. I'm going to be dropping down the Florist, I believe, or whatever. Floral Fencer, I believe.
Yeah, it's
on Evolve,
Fencer, I'm pretty sure.
She gets to summon out 2 cards, a 2/2 and a 1/1. But my board is full, so I'm just going to get the 2/2, but it allows me to trade, clearing the ward, and leave a 2/2 body up.
Yep.
And also push 5 damage. Or 6 damage, because the 3-drop is a 3/3. Some of these cards were buffed. I think in the digital game, that card is a 2/1. So, from a 2/1 to a 3/3, that's a pretty substantial buff.
Oh, yeah. That's a major change.
You see a lot of that in the physical game, where the cards are just a little bit 1 extra health, 1 extra damage. Makes it a lot faster, but there's also better control tools, so...
I think that also has to do with the change in nature to the game, because the game does have slightly different mechanics, and different cards do different things. And what is it, Blood and Shadow are one
Yeah, they're
deck,
like
right?
the awful thing that is Necromancer with like a bunch of random
Right.
cards. Now this card
Right.
is
So like,
insane
go
though.
ahead.
This new card I put down. I don't know what this card ever did. I've never seen this card in the digital game, but in this game it's a 3-drop, 3/3. Search any Swordcraft follower. That card is insane.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it allows me to search out the Advent Blader, which is a on evolve search 2,
Yep.
allowing me to keep my hand up healthy. I like this build a lot more than what I don't remember if I uploaded our last game where we played Sword. The first builds I saw from this set of Sword that
Hmm.
played a lot more removal tools felt a lot worse
Yes.
than this.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that because I think I played a couple games of that deck as well, and seeing what you're doing here, you out aggroed me very quickly. And when we played with the previous sword build versus Haven, that deck just it folded to Haven pretty quick.
And something I wish that I did have is I wish I had a second Albert in this list. This list only plays one Albert. Man,
Right.
I think he's too good. I think he's too good.
Yeah, I do think he is a pretty spicy one of, but as a two of, he'd be more consistent, especially if the first one gets answered. So, like Haven, the deck that I'm playing, has a lot of tools to remove cards,
Ooh,
so it would be easy to answer
we
him.
see where I randomly cut my search. I don't know why, but I believe I searched a. Oh, what did I search again? I searched a
Uh, I
Albert
believe it was an
and
Albert
a
and
novice trooper.
yes, that is. I'm pretty sure that is correct.
And we see here Kaguya comes into play. Kaguya on play lets him play a 3-mana amulet or lower from his
Yep,
hand. He's going to choose the
and
Guardian Sun,
yeah,
giving the
and you'll see
Kaguya
here
ward.
that I also we forgot that it gave ward until the opponent's turn.
It's okay. We have an answer for it
Yeah,
in hand.
yeah,
The
yeah.
the bigger problem is I think that because like you had a Guardian Sun in hand, that's very weak because the Guardian
Hmm.
Sun plus this
Yep.
amulet is only it's not quite 5, which is what you need to clear the
Right.
Advent Blader. It's only 4.
Oh,
Uh,
it was five. You're right. So my thought process, because I thought about, I was considering doing that to clear the Advent Blader, and I wasn't able to. So I think I elected to just clear the Bell Ringer. But then I realized I could have just attacked the Bell Ringer and still dealt the damage to the
well,
Advent
but
Blader,
then
and
your
it's probably
Kagi
what I
is
should have done.
open to die, right? But then you
Right. Right. And then but we realized anyway that it had ward. So upon realizing that, we backtracked slightly to rest her down.
uh
So I think I still made the incorrect move here. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
which I just say, okay, if you know this thing has ward, I guess I'm just going to evolve this Leonidas in my hand. I think I have a second one already.
yep,
If this one gets dealt with, I'm fine. Leonidas insane in this game, 6-mana card, evolve for 1, deal 5 damage to himself and an enemy follower, fixing the problem in the actual digital game where sometimes he was just too big to die. Now he just kills himself. It's great because when Leonidas dies, you get Leonidas Resolve, which is a 8-mana amulet that says all Swordcraft followers that come into play while you have the amulet get +3/+3 in Rush, allowing
yep,
you to build unsurmountable boards if your opponent doesn't answer the amulet, which is a huge problem in this
yep,
game because we have a lot of
yep.
amulet removal. And there's
And
a lot
like,
of banish.
oh yeah, and on anything with Storm, like the Novice Quickblader, the it's the one. Oh, I just
The
forgot
Quick
its
Blader.
name.
That's just the Quick Blader,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that is a
It's Novice
Quickblader.
Trooper and Quick Blader.
Novice Trooper, Novice Quickblader, anything like that. Even Albert. They gain huge benefits from this card existing. Like the amulet, they just swing in for the kill almost every time you play them.
Yeah, we see here you're going to go for the Themis Decree, which does not
Yep.
actually deal with the problem. It just gets rid
No,
of.
it gives you the amulet, which was really unfortunate for me. So at the time, I think I had the removal for the Leonidas, but I knew you had the Albert, so I just died to the Albert if I did not use the Leonidas,
Yeah, I mean, you have to
or if I
deal with.
didn't deal with the board there. Yeah,
I think you have 8 health, though, so, like, if you had a
right.
way to banish the Leonidas, I think that would have been preferable, but if not, like.
Right, and I wanted to save the banish for the Albert. Is what I was thinking, but
Oh,
it,
no.
it was just the wrong play. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that at the time. It was just the wrong play all around.
So that's game 1. We see Albert. He closes the game, getting in for 12 storm damage. In this game, he doesn't actually gain stats. He costs 3 to evolve, but he doesn't gain stats. And we see I get to go
Yeah,
first again. This time I'm starting off with the Bell Ringer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found that very awkward though. The fact that like it's cost 7 mana to get that Albert out with the evolve, and he only does
Hmm.
6 damage.
Right. Hey, Dean, why don't we play Bellringer in the Haven deck?
That list does not play it. I think it's just because it opts for like a lot of the amulets and it opts for more
Right.
removal. Um,
Yeah. I almost feel like it should play it though because it gives it more survivability.
well,
As
your survivability is in your removal. You don't care about a two
right.
two that doesn't like a 0/2 that doesn't do much.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
yeah, so we see the Pompous come down. She top checks 5. She finds a Bell Ringer Angel, which means she technically pluses 2, right? The card that she plays.
Yeah, yeah, she does. Now that's a really insane play when that happens.
Yeah, so we see the double Bell Ringers up front guarding
Yeah,
my
yeah. Because even if I
board.
were to board wipe you here, you draw 2 cards off this, and it's just free card advantage off of that.
We see, though, you drop down the Death Sentence, which comes to play tapped,
Mm,
and then you can tap, sack, kill one card in the actual
yeah,
digital game. That is a kill 2 cards, but at random, so.
right. And I think my thought process here was that I have 3 mana and I'm not using it on anything else, so I might as well put this down.
Man, you know what's a good card to summon off of Kaguya? Death Sentence.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I think I realized that a little bit later on when I was searching my deck. Or maybe I was going through the deck after our game, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have gone a different route with that.
And you just come in with the Jean. It's going to deal 2 damage to all things on my board. But I
Yep.
also have 2 3/3s on the board, which means that, one of them's sin healthy at 1 health.
Right. Right. And I could only kill the one, which is really unfortunate. Like there wasn't any kind of remove I could do with
That's
that.
why that guy's a gold in the TD, okay? He may not have text, but he's basically a 3-drop for 2, and that's good enough.
Right. Yeah. Oh, he's a 2-drop?
Yeah, he's a 2-drop 3/3, and he's got
Oh,
no other text. He's just like a
no,
TD card.
that's good enough, I think, right? Like if you think about that with like your Leonidas Resolve, he's a 6-drop for 2
Yeah, that's pretty
that
nice.
trades or something. Yeah, it's
So for people who
fantastic.
don't know, I'm able to actually clear the card even though it's untapped, because the Aurelia comes in with 3 different effects. We got direct attack, which allows me to attack untapped creatures,
Yep.
ward, and
Yep.
rush. Very good
Yep.
card. If you would have had 3 additional characters, it would have +2/+2, and
And it would also have aura.
yeah, which is hexproof.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
This time we see
Card's
the
really good.
evolve on the Advent Blader again, and we're searching out the Albert and the Leonidas.
Yep. And at this point in time, I had 3 different banish removals in hand for the Leonidas. I was prepared for it. But as we will see later, we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. Taking my draw off this bell ringer that died. It's like really awkward trying to play Leonidas in this matchup because like he's going to get banished, and it's really rare that you see 2 dudes for him to crash into.
Right.
So I go in with this card instead. It allows me to play a 3-drop, so I just go in for the Novice Trooper, and then I just hard play another Novice Trooper. I'm trying to put you on a fast clock.
Yeah. And
Um,
you do that pretty well. Like that clock, I was not able to keep up with that.
and I was thinking, I think when I was looking at the Leonidas in my hand, I'm like, if he has a Heavenly Aegis later in the game, this is the only way I can clear it, and then I should be able to get the clean up with that.
Yeah. But my
Um,
hand currently that I'm setting on, my hand is 2 of the 6-drop amulet, which does nothing for me in this matchup. I think you outpaced me too fast for that amulet to be effective.
it's very sad. Well, I
Yeah.
saw something I saw because of how strong Aegis is. The Swordcraft
Hmm.
decks that topped recently were playing Front Guard General, the boy. Um, I kind of wish I had him in this matchup. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We see here though, you just ping a random thing for 1. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Coming in with the Kaguya Evolve, bringing out
Yep.
the beautiful you are,
Yeah, I think looks amazing.
and then
My thought process here was to clear your board and force you to swing in with the other 3/3.
we see here you're able to at least kill 2 of them.
Yeah.
You're
And the
able to
Kaguya doesn't take damage because of the ephemeral moon.
very strong card. I'm going to be dropping down to Leonidas.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
and in this situation, like I had to deal with your board, and I expected you to drop the Leonidas, so my removal did not. I wasn't able to hold the removal up to deal with it because I would have just died otherwise.
What is this? Oh yeah, so something we forgot is I did not remember that Kaguya of on Evolve healed 3, which is
Yeah, we
kind of
both forgot
insane.
that she does that. Yep.
It means that you're still at 5 health, which makes
Right.
this game much harder. I think we were looking at some translation, so we just kind of get rid of it. Boom!
Yep.
Here it comes Acolyte's Light. That's the name of the card.
That's the card. Yep. And it
On
heals. It banishes an enemy follower on play, and then also heals your leader for 2.
yeah, so it's able to definitely keep up the pressure there.
Yeah.
Remove
Yeah.
my pressure at least.
Right. And I was setting on 2 of those when I played the first one.
This matchup is like really rough because I'm always afraid that Aegis is about to come down, and I think this is the turn that I forgot to ramp. I forgot to like play down my mana.
Oh, that must be what happened then, because somehow when we were playing, I got ahead of you on mana,
I
and
was
it was
very
really
confused.
strange. Yeah, because we stopped and counted back, and like something was off, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And if you forgot to play one, that would make complete sense.
And now here was me messing up a search. I go for a third Leonidas. I have a second Leonidas in hand. I go for the third, and I forget why. Because I'm able to search for a card with an E, and I think I should have
Right.
searched a Quick Blader here. I forget why. I think it was might have been like the I valued the body and like the
Mm-hmm.
stress on the board that the body put.
Right.
But yeah, you're gonna be hitting me with this removal spell. Deals 3 damage and
Yeah, and
4.
if it's an involved follower, it deals 4
So
damage
here's why
instead.
I was confused why I had to check the card. In the digital game, that is 2 damage and 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
it's 3
little
and
bit
4. Yep.
better because it's a little bit, more consistent in this one.
Yep.
2 and 4. I mean, I guess that makes sense because evolve cards don't really give stats in this.
Right.
We're gonna see the amulet come down. You get the bird. You're able to clear the 3/2.
Yeah. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought the bird had storm, not rush.
It does have storm.
Oh, is it storm? Okay.
Look at me. I forget to put down a mana again. No wonder I'm like randomly like, wow, what happened to my
Oh, you
mana?
did. Okay, because I ended up being 2 mana ahead, and I was like, no, I put one down every turn. I don't know what happened.
I didn't want the mana.
And
Trust. My hand was
yeah, you beat me without it. You didn't even need it.
my hand was not in a position to use it.
Right.
I think because I think now I'm like looking at my hand. I'm like, God, I wish I would have grabbed that quick blader so I could actually present lethal. But you're sitting on like 4 floating, so I know
Yeah.
you have removal.
Yeah, and I did. I had the removal that healed me. I wanted to save the removal for the Leonidas, but the situation I was in, like, I couldn't do that. You presented lethal there, and I just had to remove that,
Yeah. Well,
which was
this is what's really annoying is I'm like looking at this and I'm like, wow, if only I played a second Albert here.
right.
And then I'm able to play down the maid, and here's the problem with the maid is she searches, but like I can't evolve the quick blader this turn.
Right.
I could
Right.
search the
I think
quick
you went and
blader.
got the quick blader, you played it and put me to 1, is that right?
Oh no. Did I? No, I grabbed my third
No. You
Leonidas.
grabbed your
That's what I
third
do.
Leonidas, that's it. That's where it
Yeah,
happened.
that's where it happened. And I suddenly I'm like looking at my hand and I'm like, oh, I've got because I think there I'm looking back, I'm looking at that quick blader and I'm like, nah, it's fine. We don't need that.
Yeah, because you even stopped there before you started shuffling to think about it. Because I remember you being like, "Is this right?" And
That's
you're
why
like,
I think
"Yeah, this is
I want a
fine."
second Albert. I think I want a second Albert in the deck. I want also a front guard general.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad move.
Because the deck is on, well, I guess specifically in this matchup, the deck is normally on 3 Alexander, who is a crazy board wipe for 6, but doesn't do a lot against the Haven, single Tiger board that does nothing.
Yeah. So my goal here was to use the tiger to keep you off of something. Tiger did not have natural ward, and for some reason I thought it did.
Now it just has Rush.
Right. That's where it was. I thought this thing had ward, not rush. And when I realized it had rush, I realized I lost that game on the spot.
Whoa, this video goes on a little bit longer. You do not lose this turn.
You're right, but this was the turn that I realized I lost. This is where we found out the mana discrepancy, and we were like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just go, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because I counted and I was 2 ahead, and we were very confused.
Yeah, I
There's the
go in for
second
the
piece of
2, and this is
removal.
where I really hate. I don't have the Quick Blader in hand. I don't have like anything to
Right.
actually push damage, and so I'm come in with the what is it? I'm looking at the Leonidas. I come in with the Floral Fencer, the
Which
Floral
summons 2
Fencer,
cards. Yeah.
summoning 2 more cards. You know, just trying to get some bodies on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is my next play? I forget here.
Hmm.
I got 5 floating.
Uh,
I should actually have 6 floating, I believe, but that's fine.
yeah, technically you should have 6. But again, you didn't need it.
Oh wait,
It
no,
was
I get my
pretty
6 mana. I
pretty
mana
fun.
charge in the middle of the
Right.
turn
Yeah,
because
we
I
fixed
realized the
that.
problem.
Yeah.
I think.
I let you trade.
Oh yeah, because I valued the Alexander having 9 health. I was like, okay, he's like a
Right.
5/6/9. He has rush and he
Right.
untaps after he
And
battles a creature.
and right here I had the removal, and I don't know why I didn't use the removal at the end of your turn there. I had the mana up for it, but my process was that I needed that removal to deal with the
Because
Leonidas
yeah,
because it was banish removal. But then I realized on my own turn that was dumb.
well, this
My
was
half is
so painful
stabilized.
for me because if you
Right.
saw, I go in with the 2/2 first, and you exile the Alexander, healing the 2, so that way it's just
Yep.
even. And then I hit you
Yes.
to 1, and I'm looking at my hand. I'm like, I don't have 1 damage. I
Yeah,
don't
because you didn't
have
have the quick later.
I don't have the Quick Blader, and even if I did, you're sitting on 6 floating.
Right.
So I just drop down the Alexander, and I say, you know what? You got to deal with him. He doesn't summon the Resolve if he dies,
Right. Right.
which is so sad, but like it is what it is. And you
Yeah, and
come
then I
down with
killed your board.
Bahamut.
Yeah.
Bahamut, of
Yep.
course, board wiping on play, and
Yeah.
here's where we're checking the card.
Yeah.
It's so it board wipes on play. It can't attack if I have 2 or more followers,
Right.
and on evolve, it board wipes all amulets.
Right.
So it's really
Yes.
good because you just put them down, all your opponent's creatures are gone, and if needed, then you can blow up the amulets as well.
Yep. So if the Leonidas did make the amulet, I could just kill it.
Well, see, that's why I have the second Leonidas in hand.
Right. But you're only playing 2 in the Evolve deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, I had already dealt with 1, so you had to be a little conservative with how you used that.
Yeah, so we have a cut there because of a funny thing with one of the cards in my hand and the targets it has in the deck. But we're going to see here, Leonidas come down, boom, taking the 1, evolving, hitting the Bahamut, and then remember that guy? Boom, tapping your card, allowing the Leonidas to
Yep.
trade, being able to
And
get
make
down
the
the
amulet.
amulet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was nothing I could do about that. I was in a pretty bad spot in that situation. Again, I'm setting on 2 of the 6-drop amulet that at the end of every turn gains a token. And if at the end of the turn after gaining its token, it has 4 or more tokens, you sacrifice it. You search your deck for a follower and put the follower into play. I can't remember if it does anything else.
Wait, which one? The 6 mana?
Yeah, the 6 mana.
Okay, so the 6 mana amulet is actually Seraph's. Oh yeah, I think it's like called like Seraph something, whatever. It was like really
Yeah.
meta back in the actual digital. Um, it's come in play at the end of every turn for you get a counter on it, and at 4 counters you sack it, you heal 10, you search 2 cards, you put them in the EX, and you make them cost 0.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and we see here the Jean comes down. It only hits for 4. Gunmater Sarah has 6 health, thanks to the Leonidas' Resolve,
Yep.
which I think was just too much for you to get through.
I think so. Yeah, I remember thinking on it, and I don't know why I thought I had a way to go through it.
Oh,
It just did not.
here was another cut I forgot to make where we did not know the Guardian Sun. I was like, I thought this card gave ward when you sack. But you're like, no, it gives.
Yeah, because I remember telling you it only gives ward on play, and then you could sack it to give a follower with ward additional power.
Yeah. And then I go, okay, is the Sarah getting
no.
through? And you tell me, no. And then I go, oh no, I don't have anything else.
Right.
I'm on like a 2-card hand. Oh man, look at this.
Floral Fencer was the MVP.
Yeah, it's getting a full board again.
Yep. And
And this
this was
time,
just too much for me to
yeah,
keep up with.
this time the board is massive. But I
Yes.
think at this point, I'm like scared because I'm just like, man, if Aegis hits the board, I mean, well, granted, now you don't have the Guardian Suns anymore because you kind of wasted
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I run 3, don't I?
2,
Oh, is it only 2? I thought
yeah.
it was 3 the entire game.
But we see this card come down. This card is insane. Heal 5, draw a
Yup.
card, keeping up the hand. Probably would have been a little bit better earlier.
Oh,
And it comes
definitely.
down with another Jean, but you know what? The board is too
Your
big.
board's too big. Yeah, I cannot go through your board. I remember looking down at this and being like, "Oh, wait a minute. This does me nothing. I just die." The Leonidas' resolve combined with Floral Fencer fills your board with massive creatures.
Yeah, so we see, boom, that's the game. I do think, all things considered, game 2 was a little bit cleaner. It was just
Yep.
kind of like a little bit. Game 1 definitely. The Guardian Sun was super greedy.
Yeah, it was.
It forced the Kaguya. Because I think you had double, and I don't know if you drew one like a second one later or something. But like your
No, I had
Kaguya turn
double on
was a
that
lot
hand at the
weaker
time. Yeah.
than it should have been.
Yep.
Definitely liking the sword list a lot more. Like I said, though, I kind of wish I had the front guard generals. Kind of sad we didn't see Aegis come down. Right, Aegis would have been huge,
Yes.
but we didn't get to see him. I think the second game, if you would have had him with plus Guardian Sun, easy game. But like,
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah.
definitely, I think when you're playing into that matchup with something like Haven into something like Sword, you would definitely want to be holding the Guardian Sun for as long as possible to be able, because like Kaguya easily answered by Leonidas, right? Like all of the cards that you would give Ward, it's either too early or
Mm-hmm.
they lose to Leonidas, other than
Right.
Aegis. But Aegis
Right.
plus Ward is, I think, you win the game. So
Yeah. It's very, very difficult for anybody to get through that.
yeah, I mean,
He's
well, that's
untargetable. He has ward. He doesn't take damage for the first turn he's down.
that's why I think they're playing front guard general in those matchups, is so that
Mm-hmm.
way they can have the big 7/7, and then like when it dies, it gets 2 more wards, so it doesn't instantly lose to just like a board wipe. It
Right.
forces specifically banish. And the
Yep.
Leonidas is already fishing for a lot of the banish in their mid games, so
Yep.
like hopefully they don't have any more.
Yeah, so you just end up in a situation where you don't have enough removal for what your opponent's putting down.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping to do. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hopefully we can get another Shadowverse video out in the future. Let us know what you guys think. Do you like the commentary? Do you like the editing? What do you guys want? Definitely, probably next time, actually splice out some more of those like little bit longer things.
Yep.
But until
I
next
think
time.
the 1.75 speed helps.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to keep things a little bit watchable. It's still a 27-minute video, but it is what it is.